Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash podcast, where art and culture meets activism. On this powerful episode, we sit down with not your regular tourist, world traveler, and content creator Christopher Hughes, widely known as Chris Must List. Chris takes us back to his roots, growing up in a predominantly immigrant community in Toronto, Canada, and how those early experiences shaped his global perspective. He shares the pivotal moment that led him to pick up a camera and ultimately build a platform that would take him across more than 100 countries worldwide. From documenting life in war zones to stepping inside some of the world's most dangerous and restricted regions, Chris gives a raw, unfiltered account of his journeys through Taliban-controlled areas in Afghanistan, conflict zones in Ukraine, the streets of Haiti, Somalia, and beyond. He breaks down the realities behind the footage, what the camera doesn't show, the risks involved, and the purpose driving his work. The conversation also takes a serious turn as Chris speaks on his 2024 arrest in Trinidad and Tobago and the events that led to him being charged with sedition, offering his perspective on the situation and the broader implications. This is a gripping, eye-opening episode about risk, truth, storytelling, and the cost of going where most won't. Real people, real conversations. Sit back, relax. The AlonzoBash podcast starts now.
Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash podcast. I'm your host, AlonzoBash. And today, man, special guest, brother, right here. Woo, I must say, he's what they call a unconventional tourist. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, don't waste no time. The man himself, Mr. Chris Hughes, aka Christmas List. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
How you doing, boss?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Life is good. Sometimes I gotta pinch myself.
Well, that's good, man. All right, so let's get into your story. So you're born and raised in Toronto?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What was the family like? Mom and dad, brothers and sisters, stuff like that?
Yeah. Mom and dad and one sister, one younger sister.
Okay. What's Toronto like? I mean, as a kid growing up in Toronto, them early years, what was Toronto like for you?
Yeah.
Compared to what Toronto's like now.
You know what? Like Toronto, I'm 47 years old, and since I was a child, it's a very diverse city. I mean, the neighborhood I grew up in, I was the only white kid in my
Wow.
class and one of the very few in the whole school.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? I don't think much has changed in the neighborhood I grew up in. It looks pretty similar today as it did back
Yeah.
then.
So you say you were the only white kid in your school or in your neighborhood?
In my class, and there wasn't many white kids in the neighborhood, not that I can remember. No. So I mean, if you looked at my birthday parties growing up, 5 years old, 6 years old at my house, I'm the one white child at my own birthday party. It's always been like that. I grew up in a predominantly Jamaican neighborhood of Toronto.
Okay. That makes some sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Why, or what was it what was the reason, rather, your parents moved to that particular neighborhood?
Well, just where I happened to born and grow is what they say in Belize.
Yeah.
Jane Street is Canada's not a violent city. Toronto's not a violent city. Our biggest problems are like drugs and homelessness.
Yeah.
But the street that I grew up on, Jane Street, is known as a gang area, even till today.
Okay.
If you were to Google what the most dangerous neighborhood in Toronto is, you'd see Gin and Finch.
Yeah.
And I grew up a couple blocks away. But they lived, like my parents, when they bought a house, I was in high school, they bought their first house.
Yeah.
But it's because by then all my friends were already from the neighborhood. I was already hanging out in the wrong blocks that I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Where they lived was 5 minutes away, but like in a more rural area. And I
Yeah.
guess that's what they could afford at the time. And that's
Yeah.
the reason why.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. So what about the schooling? Elementary school, I guess secondary school, so forth.
Yeah, that's it. High school graduate, and then I went to college for like no joking. I think they give you a week, and if you drop out, then you can get a full refund. So I might have lasted like 5 days, and I'm like, this is school is just not for me. I can't sit still.
Wow. All right. So school wasn't for you. So as a teenager, a young adult, so what was your passion back then? What was your goal? What was it? What
Yeah,
was
just make money, man. Make money. I don't know where it came from. I don't know anybody in my family that's got this drive that I have.
Yeah.
But my drive has always been self-employment. And I've gone my whole life. My last job I had was like when I was 18 or 19 years old. My dream since day one was to be like, I'm not an illegal hustler, but I mean just hustle, like make something happen, buy something and sell it for more than you paid for it.
Yeah. I understand. You also worked at a nightclub.
No, I used to run nightclubs.
Okay.
Like I would do anything from selling aquariums,
Yeah.
I was big on buying mattresses. I'd
Mhm.
go buy like 200 mattresses, put it in a little truck, and
Yeah.
go to the hood on payday.
Yeah.
Like I would sell whatever I could. And one of my hustles was nightclubs.
Okay.
I'd throw parties once or twice a month.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So let's get into the meat of the thing, man. What was the decision? What came to your mind to say, you know what? I want to take my camera and travel to different countries, different than the average person. Pretty much, I guess the proper term would be crime journalist. But
Maybe sometimes
sometimes,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
sometimes no. I've always traveled.
yeah.
Right, and I've always traveled in a manner that was not normal, like, I remember when I was 19, I went to Jamaica for months and months and months by myself,
Okay.
on vacation, and
Yeah.
I don't mean in a resort, I mean, I was staying in Spanish Town, which is, and I would vlog me, you know what I mean? They're not even listening to, like you go to Cuba and you're not listening to Cuban music, you're not
Yeah.
eating Cuban food, like, you're not really in Cuba, you're in a resort, right? So,
Mhm.
it's just been since birth, like,
Yeah.
literally since birth, I like to be step outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. I'm the same way, you know. All right. So what was the first, so you say okay, you traveled to Jamaica, and so what was the point when you decided you want to document these trips?
Yeah, forever, like, always. Even when I was 19, I had a big camcorder and I was recording, so when I come home, I can show my friends and family.
Yeah.
So I think, like, everything I've done leading up till when I started this channel about 5 years ago, everything was, like, practice for where I'm at right now. Like,
Okay.
whether it be hustling on the street and talking to people. Why do I feel comfortable when I go anywhere? Because I grew up like that. I grew up my neighborhood, if you have a new pair of Jordans on and somebody's like, "You got nice shoes,"
Yeah.
that means they're about to rob you, right? So you like, this is just it's
Yeah.
ingrained in me, right? And I grew up in a neighborhood, again, being one of the few white kids in my middle school,
Yeah.
fighting was like a weekly activity.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna fight, you're gonna have to prove yourself, and I think that's what gives me the confidence now to do what I do, continue
Yeah.
to travel the way I travel.
Yeah. It's nothing new to you.
Nothing new, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to. You've been to a lot of countries. I'm gonna. That's off the top. Jamaica, of course. You spent some time there. Like you did mention.
Yep.
Um, Vibes Cartel. You had a chance to meet him. Tommy Lee. I saw that. My place of birth, Trinidad. Yeah, actually was in my community of Arima with KG and like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed that piece you did there. Guyana, I spent a lot of time in Guyana. Of course, Haiti, we're going to talk about that. Belize, Afghanistan, which is amazing. St. Lucia, Barbados, Mexico, Ukraine, and so forth, Colombia. I want to start with Haiti. Notice I pause because I'm thinking, what made you decide that, hey, okay, let me start with this. Before you go to a country, what's the preparation like before you get there? Do you normally like reach out to people like say, hey, you know, I'm so and so, this is what I'm planning to do, or you just
No.
brilliant and then
I'm different, man. I'm a different person
Mhm.
because ideally, I should do research.
Yeah,
And I teach my son now, he's a YouTuber, I teach him to do research,
yeah.
but really and truly, I don't like doing research.
Mm,
I travel so often that I can't plan weeks in advance.
yeah,
Something about just landing on the ground, knowing no one, and
yeah,
being able to put together some content, so that's the way 99% of my trips. When I landed in Haiti, I didn't know anybody. I just knew I was there for 10 days, I had a goal to meet barbecue and to
yeah.
document what's going on, so I just hustled to find people.
Well, all right. You mentioned barbecue. I guess his official name is Jimmy Charitza, I believe it is.
Yep.
He's wanted by the Department of Justice here in the U.S. I guess he got a 5 million reward bounty on his head. Yeah.
Yes.
That right there, man, takes a lot of balls. I gotta tell you, man, because not even U.S. officials can get close to this brother. And
Yeah.
you were able to, like you said, you no groundwork. You went to Haiti, you did what you did, and you got to him. What was that experience like talking to barbecue?
Yeah, it was, listen, he's got his palm on the city, loved by many and hated by many. So, I mean, he knew I was there
Mm,
faster than I could find out anything about him. It
mm,
was a process to meet him. I had to like prove myself. First of all, that I'm not an undercover police officer.
yeah,
For some reason, a percentage of people believe all white people that travel are officers.
yeah,
No, I'm not an officer. It was a difficult week to get a hold of him. And I can tell you some things like when I met him for the first time, he
yeah,
speaks English, right? In interviews, he doesn't speak English. He wants to speak his native tongue. But I mean, the first time I met him, he said, he wanted me to write down on a piece of paper why he should give me an interview. Like,
mm,
why
yeah,
me?
yeah,
And
yeah,
submit it with a link to some of my favorite videos because he wanted to sit down and watch them all.
Yeah.
wanting a picture of my passport so he could do his own research. So it took days. It was and you know, the interview where he is or where he was at the time was not an overly dangerous place.
Okay.
But to get there, you
Yeah.
gotta go through hell, right? It's not easy to get through. You're going through a war zone. So when
Mm,
I went there to meet him for the first time, I was like all excited, like today's the day, I'm gonna make it happen. And
yeah.
for him to say, come back tomorrow, let me do my research, I'm like, oh shit. And I
Yeah.
came back the next day and he's like, I need more time. And
Mm,
it's the whole thing of getting there that's
yeah.
not easy or even seen in my videos. But the third time I went, he said, I'll give you 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer in feeling energy. You know,
Yeah.
some people have really negative energy, some people have positive energy.
That's
My first impression of, Mr. Barbecue is he had really good energy.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
was not you know, I've interviewed killers before, right? I interviewed a Sicario in Sinaloa about a month ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
very negative energy, but
Mm,
he had positive energy. If I can compare him and I hate to do this because it's most likely he's done some very negative things,
yeah.
including having people killed. So I
Yeah.
don't wanna make him look like some sort of saint, right?
Mm,
But what I can say is what I saw with my own eyes.
yeah. Yeah.
He would not let me record it, but there was a lineup of people from the community lined up with their kids.
Okay.
He had a big stack of money.
Mm,
He was handing it out. He said, "I don't want to record this."
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
almost like he wants to keep himself seen as like a dangerous person.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe it will be a sign of weakness if they see that he's got a tear in his eye as he gives out money to the community,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So that's all I can speak upon again, because I spoke to people
Mm,
that lost their houses,
mm,
that have been shot by his gang members,
yes.
right?
Yes.
That hate the man, despise the man. He's ruined a lot of lives.
Yeah.
But again, all I can speak upon is what I personally saw with my own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Experience. You mentioned you have no fear in you, no fear factor. I mean, like I said, once again, I looked at that video. Of course, you in Haiti in the middle of a war zone, bullets flying, you ducking and all these things. I'm saying to myself, this dude is crazy.
I've
What?
heard that. I've heard that before.
what? What goes through your head when you're walking through? And I mean, a bullet actually ricocheted right over your head. At that point, what's your thoughts? Like this
Yeah.
is it.
Let me
What?
I'm not a superhuman. I absolutely have fear. I do not wanna die. I don't have a death wish.
Yeah.
But I do get this adrenaline rush. Like,
Mm,
I don't do drugs in life, but I would presume that the feeling I get is similar to somebody being high on drugs. Like, there's a fear in me, no doubt, but it's, like, exciting. And
yeah.
it's something I've dreamt about my whole life. Like, growing up, my friends wanna be firefighters and police officers. I want to be a war photographer. All my idols, all my books, I'm not good at reading. I like picture books,
Mm,
they have photographs.
yeah.
We're like war photographers.
Yeah.
This is the documentaries I like to watch. So, again, it's not that I don't have fear because I do have fear. I think it keeps me alive. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I do anything too stupid,
Yeah.
most of the time at least. And, I think I don't know, again, it's just like it's part of my DNA.
Yeah, nice. All right, so Jamaica. You spent a lot of time in Jamaica as well. You had opportunity to talk to Cartel and Tommy. What about Black Cartel that you were surprised to know?
I met his family, and
Yeah,
I became pretty close with him when he was in jail
yeah,
in Gaza, and we kept in touch. So when I got an opportunity to meet him a few days after he was released from jail, I came in just to shake his hand and take a picture, and he's like, "Oh, I watched your videos from jail."
yeah,
So he knew who I was, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's an honor whenever somebody, especially, the world boss,
yeah,
yeah, it's an honor. I listen to his music. I'm in the Caribbean a lot. It was an honor to meet him.
yeah,
Well, and even in more so, like, our relationship is non-existent, he's a
mm,
famous man, he met me for 2 minutes, and we talked for 2 minutes.
yeah,
But Tommy Lee Sparta, he's been a fan of my content for a while.
yeah,
So his
yeah,
manager reached out to me, he said, "Go from Kingston down to Montego Bay,"
yeah,
and he's like, "You want a drink?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, $50." And they have a bartender inside the house,
yeah,
so if you're sleeping over, you need a toothbrush, you need
yeah,
underwears, they got a store inside his
right,
house. But
yes,
yeah, he
yeah,
was a good guy. These people in their videos, they make themselves look out to be like the devil and like
right,
real evil gangsters. And we
yeah,
didn't stop laughing. And the best thing is Tommy Lee's recording new music in his bedroom with his friend sitting on the bed,
yeah,
not no big studio like that,
right,
in his shorts and yeah, a real good guy. And what people might not know about Tommy Lee,
yeah,
he's into country music. He recorded a full album in country, but
yeah,
the branding side of the marketing side of his team doesn't wanna release it to sort
yeah,
of tarnish his image. But good guy. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Guyana. I've never been to Guyana. I would say though, it's pretty interesting that places like Guyana, I guess most of us from the Caribbean have a image of the similarities of different islands. Of course, Guyana itself is a country in South America. Guyana seems to be, in your opinion, what's your comparison between Guyana, Trinidad, and Jamaica? And the reason I'm asking this question is because, like I said, I've never been to Guyana. But Guyana itself is so interesting because it's in South America, and it's
Mhm.
so heavily influenced by, I would say, the Northern Caribbean islands. So what about Guyana that was surprising for you? Being
And Trinidad, Guyana is pretty similar.
Yeah.
They're both a lot of Venezuelans. They're both very close to Venezuela and very close to each other. So even between music, they
All right, so I'm gonna talk about my home place of birth, Trinidad. So you went to Trinidad, like you said, that was 2024, I believe it was.
yes,
So yeah. All right, so we first got there, and you knew no one. Am I correct?
correct.
All right. So what was the first place you traveled to?
Duncan. I found myself in
Mhm.
Duncan Street. The first day when I touched down in any new city,
Yeah.
put my walking shoes on and I walk. Plan is to walk 8 to 10 hours and just interact with people and learn as much as I can, because at that point, I didn't know anybody. There's a gentleman named Johnny Bravo,
Yeah. I know Johnny Bravo, man. Yeah.
right, Johnny Bravo reached out to me a few months prior
Okay.
to say, like, "If you need my service or when you're in Trinidad, let me know." But
Okay.
he's a good guy, but I don't need any I don't it's so unauthentic if I'm walking with a big muscular man, right?
Yeah, you can't miss Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, you can't miss him at all.
Yeah. So wait, when you first got to Trinidad, like this, you mentioned, I would say any Caribbean island, because I kind of focus on the Caribbean. Do people recognize you? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, for sure.
okay, okay,
I
cool.
think most people watch, anything, relative to Jamaica, and
Yeah.
at the time I went to Trinidad, I was still already quite big in Jamaica, so, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people knew me in the street.
Yeah. Okay. So you're walking down Duncan Street, like you mentioned, and yeah, what was the experience like? First time there.
Yeah, nothing new to me because I've been in what they call notorious neighborhoods in the past.
Yeah.
The one thing that stood out to me from the beginning, well, first of all, the numbers gangs, right? Like
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, Rasta, Muslim, and anybody gets it. Very territorial, as are most gangs, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, so territorial that somebody from one street would never in their life cross the street. I
Mm.
don't think I've ever seen it like that.
Yeah.
Like, it is very, 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 it's almost like there's a line painted in the street saying you cannot cross this. And it's a deadly place, there's no doubt. And it's always been hard for me to swallow the negativity, the murder and the crime in Trinidad, because the people themselves
Yeah.
are so incredible. And I'll even go further that, like, a lot of these gangsters, right, when the camera's not rolling and they're actually just talking to me normal, they're people that I enjoy being around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like they have to put up this front on camera in order to create fear so that the enemy doesn't try to take over their property or their land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like K-Man 6, for example, probably one of the most popular, Trini artists.
Yes.
On camera, if you only watched his videos, it's the
Mm.
kind of guy you do not wanna meet in an alley.
Yeah.
But in real life, this guy's a man. We play video games. I watched him play football with the kids. The kids love him.
Yeah.
His community loves him. He can't leave the community. He's there. He's not just hiding in the house. He's out there interacting with people.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when people see my video and I'm interviewing him, a
Yeah.
little child walks by and I'm like, "What song do you like the best?" And this, like, 9-year-old kid is like, and if you watch, he knows,
Yeah,
right?
I would agree with that. I had the opportunity to meet Prince Smiley before, and like you mentioned, when you meet these guys with these certain image in real life,
Yeah,
in the back of my mind, and I'm with all due respect, I'm sitting in the back of my mind like, man, this guy to me, it's like image that we see. We get it as entertainment, as art. It's like at the end of the day, it's like I would say that's not really who they are, but you have to understand that it's a product. You know.
yeah, it's marketing.
Yeah, marketing. There you go. That's right. What I want to use. All right. So Duncan Street. I saw you went to Belmont as well. Now, once again, I'm from Trinidad, and I've never seen that side of Belmont before,
Yeah,
which was very interesting.
rough place. And I
Mm.
know a few of those people I interviewed in Belmont have been murdered since the video.
Really?
That's where Johnny Bravo is from.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a For me in Trinidad, I've never had any problems with gangs or guns or anybody for that matter.
Yeah.
If we were to erase me going to prison, that was the only negative experience I had in Trinidad.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna
people treat me good. So even including Belmont.
yeah, yeah. And of course, you went to McTrinity. I mean, you been to other places, San Negrandi and so forth, but I must become a place, Arima. So what was the experience like in Arima? So I think you went to La Hakata first, then
Yeah,
you went,
yeah, and even that law, I don't know how to pronounce that law. Say it again.
La, La Hakata, La
La
Hakata.
Hakata. The man that showed me around was murdered as well. Like the
Yeah,
main guy that showed me around has
yeah.
been
So
murdered.
I mentioned that. That's crazy because I think at the time you were there was some conflict that was brewing in the community
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. KG, some people you meet once, have a conversation. KG and I were close the whole time I was there.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the kind of guy that I would talk to, almost daily.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
Good guy. He was the one showing me around Arima,
Yeah,
but there were certain areas he didn't wanna go into, so I sort of met people along the way, and that's how I completed the video.
yeah. Well, all right. So while you're in Trinidad, of all the places you've been to, which is very interesting, you got arrested for sedition. So what happened?
Pardon the interruption. Now a word from our wonderful sponsors.
Imagine floating on the Chesapeake Bay, waves gently lapping, stress melting away. Now picture this, a spa but make it nautical. Welcome to Be Well Boats by Floating Needs. We're not just boats, we're floating sanctuaries of bliss. Drift away your worries with a massage while cruising the coastline. Choose from dockside, open water, or beachfront wellness experiences. Aromatherapy, hot stone massages, henna, scalp treatments. We're redefining relaxation. Why settle for ordinary when you can float to extraordinary? Perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, bridal parties, even waterfront weddings. Located at Canton Waterfront, Baltimore. Ready for your aquatic escape? Call 844-727-BOAT or visit floatingneeds.com. Your relaxation awaits.
Shipping nightmares? Not anymore. Let me spill the tea on stress-free international shipping. Jay's Hassle-Free International is the game changer you've been waiting for. Air, ocean, Caribbean, Dominican Republic. They've got it all covered. And those special rates? Absolutely amazing. Full container or just a corner, their prices will make your wallet do a happy dance. No more headaches over complicated shipping. Just call the shipper lady at 443-927-5816 and watch your worries vanish. Trust me, once you try Jay's Hassle-Free International, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Wave goodbye to shipping stress and hello to smooth sailing. Serving Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the DMV. Remember that number, 443-927-5816. Your stress-free shipping journey starts now.
Yeah, just that. I guess the government got tired of me showing the world what was going on, the
Yeah,
reality. Let me use an example, right? Let's say that I went into tonight. My friends invited me to his birthday,
yeah,
and he said, "Come, we're gonna have a few drinks at my house," and
mhm,
I will definitely bring a camera.
yeah, yeah,
Now, let's say that I film in one of the rooms. He's got like graffiti on the wall. He's got it stinks because the cat shit. I'm just using an example, and then I show that on camera,
mhm,
right? He could get mad at me saying like, "Why did you show that?"
yeah,
I could ask him, "Why did you keep your house like that?" Right? Like, why does your house look like that? You
mhm,
know, me, a guy with a camera,
yeah,
I understand both sides,
mhm,
right? And I often from new people to my content, they often say like, "How dare you come to Trinidad and show the negative side?"
right, right,
And first and foremost, I didn't only show the negative side, and
mhm,
what you might consider negative,
yeah,
I don't, right?
mhm,
Like, I feel like I've seen enough videos on Carnival, and
yeah,
the beach is beautiful, but how many more beach videos do we need?
yeah,
The reason I earn the respect of people in Trinidad is 'cause I'm showing you, like you said, you would never go to Belmont. The other people wouldn't go either, and they're very curious as to what the day-to-day life looks like in
right,
Belmont.
yeah,
So me going there is not any attempt to make a country look bad. It's
mhm,
like, let me show you something you haven't seen,
yeah,
and which was obviously upsetting to 1 or 2 people in the government, to the point where they wanted to have me imprisoned and most definitely tried to have me killed. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with what I do, and just so people that have never seen my face before,
yeah,
in my own country of Canada, Toronto. You know, in Canada, I have about 10 videos. 8
Yeah.
of them is about drug overdoses and homelessness.
Mm.
So it's not like I'm going to Trinidad to show the negative. What I do is I do this in every country, including my own. There's enough people. They'll say, why don't you go to the 5-star hotel? Why don't you show how beautiful the mall is? I have no interest in watching that content or shooting that content.
Yeah.
I want to shoot something that actually interests me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you got arrested, then what was going through your mind at that point? Like, you can believe because, like I said, you've been to
Yeah.
war zones. You've been to, sad but it's true, the worst of the worst. And of all places, a lot of people were shocked, honestly. Of all places, you were arrested. So at that point, what was going through your mind, and what was your family reaction? I'm sure they was worried.
I don't know, you know, with what I do, I'll put it this way. There's no way there's full-time conflict photographers that have not been to jail. It's just like if you race cars, you're gonna get in an accident. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's almost like I know it's gonna happen, and I'm
Mhm.
sure it will happen again. Something will happen somewhere that upsets someone, and it's not something you can really plan for. It's just about being prepared.
Yeah.
My wife, I didn't get to talk to her when I was in jail, so I really didn't know what was going on, like from
Yeah.
her mindset standpoint, but I've been married 20 years.
Okay.
And I never died once. So I
Yeah.
tell my wife when I leave, you know, I'll
Mm.
I'll always come home. There's gonna be some ups and downs, but I'll always come home.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What do you have to say about critics who say, I think you just touched base on it, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit about, it seemed to just bring out the worst in communities,
Yeah.
why you coming here to do that when there's so many other things you could do? What you got to say to those folks?
Yeah, don't watch. Their opinion means nothing to me. A
Yeah.
stranger's opinion never meant anything to me in my entire life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be wearing big glasses like this if I cared what other people think, right? Like can you imagine if I were to walk down the street and point at people like, I don't like that person's shoes. I don't like that person's attitude. I hate onions. So what, I'm gonna go protest in front of restaurants that serve onions? Like, I
Yeah.
never understood the mindset of people thinking that they're so important that their opinion cares.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. It's a story. The reason I get the respect, if you walk through the streets of Trinidad with me for a day,
Yeah.
you would understand that the masses, and I mean 99% of the people, whether it
Mhm.
be a police officer that stops me on the street to say thank you
Yeah.
because my family didn't realize how dangerous my job was, to the
Yeah.
military saying, "This is why we are out here fighting for our country," to the
Yeah.
gang members that never get heard. You know,
Mhm.
if you really listen, forget about the guns you might see in my video. If you listen, I ask them, like, "How do we bring peace to your community?
Yeah.
How can we stop this rivalry?" Right? Like, I'm asking the questions that hopefully most people should want answers to. Now,
Yes.
when I was in Trinidad, I met with this woman, a friend of my lawyer, and we went to dinner in a more like upscale restaurant in
Yeah.
Trinidad, which do exist. And she's like, my country is not bad. And I'm thinking, like, this is during a state of emergency, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, can you like elaborate? What do you mean it's not bad?
Yeah.
She's like, I've lived my whole life. I've never been robbed. I've
Mhm.
never had no problem. So she drives her fancy car to work,
Yeah.
to an office,
Mm.
goes back to a nice neighborhood, and thinks because nothing personally happened to her,
Yeah.
that everything is just fine and normal. You
Yeah.
know, I got a comment this morning that's still on my mind. Somebody said, our problems in Trinidad are no worse than your problems in Canada.
Yeah.
And then my response was, how many people do you know that have been murdered?
Yeah.
In Toronto, I don't know anybody that's been murdered. There's
Mhm.
not one neighborhood I go into in Trinidad that doesn't have a list of 10 plus family or close friends that have been murdered.
Yeah.
So, like, are we so blind to say that there's no problems in Trinidad? If
Mm.
somebody told me, Chris, there's a drug epidemic in Canada, am I gonna be like, no, there's problems all over the world? No, I'm gonna say, damn right. I know 4 people that have died of drug overdoses. This is a problem that we need to fix. So we
Yeah.
can ignore it, right? We can be embarrassed by it, or we can try to solve the problem. And I'm
Mhm.
not here to solve the problem. I'm here to shed a light on what's going on in the world, not just
Yeah.
Trinidad, but the
Yeah.
world.
I'm talking about the world, man. Afghanistan, pretty much a war zone. Of course, Ukraine as well. But something was different with Afghanistan. You actually went and you were among Taliban members, if that's the right term to
Yeah.
use. You went to an open gun market, and yeah, you could pretty much buy a gun off the street like you're buying
I
a
bought
Mac
I
or a
bought
fruit.
some. I bought
Yeah,
2 guns, yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you brought firearms. So you were able to bring that back to
No,
Canada?
no,
You had
no, I
to.
left them there. I gave them to somebody there, but I bought them and we went in the desert and we shot at some rocks.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. What was Afghanistan like, man?
I love the country. It's adventurous. It's
Yeah.
somewhere I've always wanted to go. It's sad, women have no rights in Afghanistan, which is like I'm married. I have a mother. I
Yeah.
have a mother-in-law. I love women. I love women more than I love men.
Yeah.
And it's sad for me to see that they don't have an opportunity to succeed in life. They're given into marriage at a very young age. They're not allowed to do the same thing the man is. They're not allowed to drive a car. They're not allowed to have a job. And the list goes on and on. So for that standpoint, I'm
Mm.
really hoping for change.
Yeah.
But as an outsider coming into their country, I have no say, right?
Yeah.
I'm not in a position to say like what's to say that their culture is worse than my culture. In
Yeah.
my country, you got girls 18 with OnlyFans
Mm.
to make profit. Like that's pretty messed up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Drugs. There's a lot of drugs in Afghanistan too, though. But I mean, like every country seems to have certain problems. Afghanistan, as a tourist, I would not recommend a new traveler to go there. But I
Okay.
mean, if you're somewhat experienced, you
Yeah.
have the time of your life and you're gonna come home with some postcard photographs that your friends don't have.
Yeah.
So it is a place I'll continue to go. My son now,
Mm.
I'd like to bring him later this year for his first trip to Afghanistan because I really enjoy the country.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Ukraine, active war zone. What was that experience like?
Yeah, bro. I've gone twice now,
Yeah.
twice since this war has happened.
Yeah.
Once before the war, so I've
Mm.
got to see it both times. Incredible country,
Mm.
very sad. Like I'm not. I don't like war. There's no winners in war. There's no reason for war. I will never. Like. There's always a way out that does not include killing innocent civilians. And this has
Yeah.
been going on too long.
Yeah.
It was difficult to go to see. It's a lot more relaxed now. So when I
Mm.
went at the beginning of the war, like
Yeah.
you had to apply for permits to get into certain areas that were restricted, and they would deny me because I don't have any diploma or they don't look at me as a serious journalist, right? But when I went back for the second time,
Yeah.
you can go anywhere you want. There's no limitations as to where you can go.
Okay. Okay. The name Christmas list. I got to admit, man, the first time I saw your name or heard of your name rather, I'm thinking, I'm sure most people thinking like like Christmas time, like Christmas,
Yeah,
how that name came together.
just like that. For a long time, I've been saying that.
No.
As a kid growing up, your Christmas list is like a list of things you want that year,
Yeah.
this year, whatever. I still tell my kids like, put your Christmas list together.
Okay. Okay.
And my name is Chris, right? So
Right.
I'm talking about like 10, 15 years ago, I registered the domain.
Yeah.
I just thought it's something everybody can know what Christmas. Even now, especially I go to Jamaica or Trinidad, and that's what they call me, Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas, like it's Christmas.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it was just something simple and easy to remember for me. It's like Chris is my name in the must list.
Yeah.
Like I have a list of things I want to do before I die,
Yeah.
places I want to go, things I want to experience, and I keep adding to that list. And
Mm.
it's like my bucket list. It's my
Nice.
must list.
Makes sense, man. What's the one country that you plan on traveling to, or it's really on your list that you have as a must, you must get there?
All of them. Absolutely
Yeah.
every single. I've done now 135 countries.
Wow, that's
So I
crazy.
got like there's 197 altogether.
Yeah.
So my must is every other country I've yet to go to. North Korea is like the highest on my list, but uh, it's been closed since COVID. So I'm
Yeah.
Canadian. I can
Oh,
go to North Korea. Americans, no,
yeah.
but I can go, but I'm just waiting for them to reopen. So that's the highest on my list.
Okay. You said it's closed since COVID, so pretty much no foreigner could travel into the country?
Yeah, there's like the one cheat code is once a year they do a marathon. So
Uh-huh.
if you want to put like I'm fat. I'm not running. I run from here to my fridge and back. But yeah, I'm not running any marathon. But who knows if they stay closed for too much longer, I might start training
Yeah.
because they do accept like 100 outsiders, like
Yeah.
foreigners, to come every year to run in the marathon, and you can bring a camera in the marathon.
I think that'd be a good cover for you, man. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you would call it a cover, but I think that'd be a good opportunity for you. They actually prepare for this, and you probably would appreciate more too.
I
You know,
know. I gotta get a little skinnier, lose some of this belly fat.
it's a good man. I gotta ask you, man, while you're in Trinidad, I'm sure you had an opportunity to eat some doubles, yeah?
Yeah, of course. I ate doubles like 2 days ago as well.
Oh, yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice. All the countries you've been to, what's some of your favorite foods?
Like for countries food, I really love Italy. I love the Caribbean. But
Yeah,
what I find with the Caribbean for me personally, it becomes very repetitive.
yeah,
Like you're in the States, right? I'm in Toronto.
yeah,
If I feel like eating Tibetan food,
yeah,
I go down the street. If I want Korean food, Chinese food, Trini food, so I
yeah,
can mix up my palate.
yeah,
Whereas like I just spent 3 weeks in Guyana, love the food, but
yeah,
I ate like the same 5 meals every single day, right?
yeah,
Like I love Jamaican food. I
yeah,
love doubles. Doubles, like when doubles are done properly, even though it's a simple meal,
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the world to eat, and I get great enjoyment out of introducing my friends to doubles.
Yeah.
Because they'll see it in the video and they'll be like, "Chris, what is this doubles?" I'm like, "'Cause I
Yeah.
got an authentic Trini place in
Mm.
Toronto, so I bring
Yeah.
people all the time."
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I saw you, I think recently you was at the Major Hype birthday party, not so?
At his show,
Show.
comedy show, yeah.
Oh, show. Okay, okay. Nice, nice, nice.
I think it was his birthday, but it was meant
Yeah.
to be a comedy show.
Nice, nice. You've accomplished a lot, man. I'm sure you probably haven't gotten time, or have you gotten time to sit back and look, when you're home and you look, I'm sure you got like mementos and stuff in this.
I got crazy. I got stuff
Yeah.
that you would not even look at this. I'm looking at some I'm in my basement right now.
Okay.
Can you give me 1 sec? I'm gonna grab you something crazy.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure, for sure. Ah, man, that's a life I want to live.
I'm gonna show you 2 things,
Yeah.
2 of my pride. I'm putting together what they call a cabinet of curiosities. So,
Okay.
before cameras existed,
Yeah.
when people would travel the world, in order to prove that they've done so, you have to bring home something that you could only get when you travel to that country, right? So,
Yeah, that's
check this out. Hey, this is exclusive. I never showed anybody this
oh,
stuff.
yeah. All right. Cool, cool. That's
Look at this.
oh,
This is the biggest egg in the world. So, you see, I have a big head, right?
man, that thing. Well, for folks who listen via Spotify, picture, man, that thing is huge, man.
People are gonna say that's an ostrich egg. Look, this is an ostrich egg. This is my egg.
So what type of egg is that?
So this is from Africa. This is called an elephant bird egg. So
Oh,
what I wanna paint this picture for you for a moment. This has been extinct for 10,000 years from Madagascar.
are you serious?
10,000 years ago,
Yeah.
the reason this went extinct is because people would eat you can imagine a scrambled egg. So people would not kill the birds, but they would eat the eggs. So if you look closely, you'll see cracks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this egg hatched. All the pieces fell in the sand. The
Yeah.
sand was
Yeah.
covered, and they found it 10,000 years later and put it back together.
Well, that's crazy,
So
man.
to give you an idea, these go for like, I don't know, I think I paid like $20,000
Oh, for real?
for an egg, the biggest in the world. There are more than one. If you Google elephant bird
Okay.
egg, you'll find more, and I'll show you one more that's really close to my heart. This
Wow.
is a authentic Egyptian mask, so no tourist stuff. This is like
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of years old.
That's crazy.
And, I go to Egypt quite a lot, man. What they do
Man.
is they paint your face not a representation of how you look, it's
Yeah.
how you wanna look in your afterlife. So this
Mm.
person could have died at 80 years old, and they
Yeah.
make him look like a 21-year-old man with big eyes.
Yeah.
One day I'd love to put a museum together.
I was thinking the same thing, man. I like, man, you got everything to create your a museum.
I got one more to show you. I'm excited. You got me excited. Something different.
Well, that's cool, man.
Look at
Listen,
this.
man, listen.
Check
That'd
this
be a
out.
that'd be a dope museum.
I was in Ukraine, and these are the things killing everyone. These are kamikaze drones.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
in my video, one even hovered above me. So
Yes.
when I was in the front lines, I saw this in the ground without a bomb. So I picked it up and I brought it home. So
Wow.
this
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure you do. Like you said, man, you might be onto something. Listen, in your golden years, trust me, man, you can sit back and who knows, man? Like you said, you can have a museum. I mean,
yeah,
you got the video footage to add to it.
yeah, the evidence.
Yeah, the evidence, and then
Yeah,
people can like, put their hand on something tangible. Like, yeah, yeah, man. Hey, you want this something, man? You
yeah,
definitely want this something. That's crazy, but that's the that's the biggest egg I've seen.
yeah, you'll never find anything bigger. For anybody interested, just search elephant bird egg.
Yeah,
There's one that was with no cracks. So
yeah,
like the newborn died inside,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's lasted 10,000 years. It goes over 100,000 US to buy something like that. So
Man, that's crazy. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. All right. So this part of the podcast is called 2000 Questions About Me. I'm not gonna ask you 2000 questions basically. It's based on a book that I bought a couple of years ago. I'm gonna ask you to pick a number from 1 to 2000, and the number that you pick will be the question that's gonna be asked out of the book.
okay, let's go for 444.
444. You Jeezy?
No, you know what? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got stories for everything. Look, I got this tattoo before the Jay-Z album. My
Okay.
grandfather, I was holding his hand, he had cancer,
Yeah.
and I was with him in the hospital for days, and
Mhm.
he died, and I looked down on my watch, and it was 444,
Oh,
and that was, 2009. So I
yeah.
got this tattoo in 2009.
Wow, that's deep, man. Deep. All right. 444. Have you ever carried a torch for someone? Have you ever carried a torch?
Like a literal torch, you mean? Like
Uh,
carrying something
well, Well, I'm assuming yes, but at the same time, I think we could probably go deep with that. Whether a torch could be anything, whether they carry maybe I want to say a burden or maybe carried some. mm, I guess you could be creative with the question.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I must have carried some sort of torch in the past. I've been in dark places with no electricity.
Yeah.
But I mean, wow, that's a rough question. That's tough.
I mean, you're open for a bonus question if you want.
No, no, I wish I could answer the question. I think I would need some more time to think about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one of the torches, like
Mm.
in a metaphorical state. I just speaking about my grandfather, so it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
My grandparents and my mother came from Liverpool to Toronto.
Okay.
My mom was about 19 years old, and
Mm.
my grandparents came. They sold everything in Liverpool,
Yeah.
and they came to Canada to start a new life, a better life, is
Yeah.
what they thought. They came alone. They said never went to Liverpool at that time, and I grew up understanding the culture of my mother and her side of the family from the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
All of their customers were from Liverpool, so when I would hang out at the store, I would hear their accent and I would get to know them. And last year, my grandparents have all passed now. My mother is the last surviving one from that bloodline.
Yeah.
Last year, I went to Liverpool and I got to, I will say metaphorically, carry the torch home. And
Mm.
it was my first time there. I knew nothing about it other than the fact that my mom was from there.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at home. Like I felt so comfortable and good amongst the people. I
Yeah.
almost felt like these are my people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So metaphorically, again, I feel like I carried the torch home. It was a full
Yeah.
circle. And my mom loved to see that I could return because my mom, since 19, never returned home to Liverpool. So she doesn't even know what it looks like today. So that was my full circle moment.
Yeah. 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 Went back to your roots, man.
Yeah.
All right. So this part, man, I'm just gonna open up the floor. If you anything you want to add, people can follow you.
Yeah. Chris Must Bliss. My main channel or content that I create is on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can be found on any platform. Yeah, I'm just having fun. Life is fun. It's like all of my dreams that I had as a child are coming true. Doing the things I want to do, not being. There's no. How do I say this? Like, there's no selling out kind of thing. It's like, to be honest with you, I want people to watch my content, right? Financially, I need it to
Mhm.
survive doing this.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm still doing stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
You'll never see me create a video just for views. Like I'm doing stuff I enjoy doing, and my audience is like so incredible. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, not a lot of them, but I mean, I meet people every single day of the week on the street,
Yeah.
and it's amazing for people to say like, "Wow, your video changed my mind on Guyana," let's say, for
Yeah.
example. It's incredible. YouTube opened so many doors, not
Mhm.
just for me, for everybody that gets obsessed with it. And I'm alive, right?
Mhm.
I'm healthy. I got a family that I love, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah. I meant to ask you. So what's the latest with the case back in Trinidad? What's
Yeah,
going on with?
just gonna continue going on and on and on. It's complete waste of time. But once a month, I do a virtual appearance from whatever country I'm in. I don't talk, and
Mm.
then they'll say, "Okay, let's push this back a month or 3 months," or
Yeah.
nothing's happened. They gave me the opportunity to plead guilty with a plea
Yeah.
bargain. They said, "Plead guilty, and we'll drop the charges. It won't go on your criminal record, and there'll be no jail time." Which
Which
I think maybe a
maybe
smart person might say yes, just to get it over with, right? But I'm stubborn and I know I did not commit the crime that I'm being charged with. I feel people that have the opportunity to jail people, it's a sad state. I'm fighting for the people because I'm not the only one with these said charges, right?
Yeah.
Even Prince Swanee going to him, he had a bunch of charges. And that's the reason why he left the country, stacking them on and stacking them on. You talked about me being arrested once, but in Trinidad, I was arrested 4 or 5 times. They would let me out, then rearrest me for something different. They're trying to scare me into submission quite a few times, 3 or 4 times at least, and also sent to different holding cells and in jails and prisons.
Yeah.
Since this has happened to me, I've heard quite a few people, including Prince Swanee,
Yeah.
talk to me about false imprisonments. And look, I know when you're in jail, everybody said they're innocent, right? Nobody's ever committed a crime. This is a perfect world. Just it's all by mistake, right? This is what you hear when you're in jail.
Yeah.
So I understand, but I also understand that what the Trinidad government is doing to me is trying to, literally like they got their hands around me and they're
Yeah.
trying to like submit me, right? Whether it be the length of time this case takes or how much money it costs,
Right.
etc. It all weighs on the back of my mind every single moment of the day.
Yeah. Well, I really, I'm sorry that you had to go through. what you went through in Trinidad, and it just shows if you could go through that, imagine what ordinary citizens
Yep.
whether I want to say guilty or not, but it's supposed to be presumed innocent until found guilty. With that, man, Mr. Chris Hughes, aka Chris Plus List, man, I really appreciate the time. And I
Yes,
really,
yes.
really want to give you strength on moving forward, man. I really enjoy your content. You're brave, you're a brave soldier. You're doing something that most people won't do. And yeah, man, keep doing your thing, man. And you're definitely an inspiration to many, many content creators out here. We look at you, we watch you, and we really I'm motivated to do a little something in my community,
You
but
should. You should.
I really appreciate it, man. So once again, man, give thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas list.
And that's a wrap on this episode of the AlonzoBash podcast. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with us. If you enjoyed today's conversation, leave a comment and let us know your favorite episode so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help the podcast grow. You can catch the AlonzoBash podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and even on Amazon Alexa devices. Just ask Alexa to play the AlonzoBash podcast. Until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and as Alonzo would say, stay focused on your goals and dreams. See you on the next episode.
Okay, missing a dog. Kind where you gone, son? Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, beg Jah for guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. Rest in peace, Kyle, you was a real brother to me. My dog on me, I fi set it. Stepping at the skin, skull out right now. Me take off like rocket. You want try stop it? Cock up, box out the brain like the boxer. Mom, me darling, with the big. Me no really business where you come from. Can't scare me, people lay me. Big long broom, you know how we sweep these streets. I know. Cup to riddle up your lie down. Say you is a bad man and I cry now. Pipe, out your eyeball. In a long talk when me try pass. Pull up, boom, from a glass. Window wind up, then me press gas. Long live guy that we no cross off. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, beg Jah for guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. Rest in peace, Kyle, you was a real brother to me, dog. We remember all the time when we been in December. All the pretty girl a lie when me enter. We remember the days when me not eat. Remember the days when me not sleep. Remember the days when me can't smoke. This ain't no joke. Now we have to bust the biggest attache. The girls them keep on loving us. 100 a week, say me a them crush. See it like that, me no really rush. Don't know the line, who we live in. My gal a your gal a my gal. We all a share the same gal. It's not shy. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. Yo, Kyle, right now, me wish you was here with the team, dog. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, beg Jah for guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog. Chasing my dreams, dog. Rest in peace, Kyle, you was a real brother to me, dog. From man a youth, adolescent. Chase to the bird like Baker. Touch on the street fresh, you know see me haters talk bad behind me. Me no really cater. Coming on my face hole. Some the Draco, them don't send threats. One better don't stray so. Ha, me laugh. How them try to take my life.